Let's go to the complete other end of the spectrum. We're going to go from someone who's Harvard educated and trying to get a big banking job to someone we're going to call EA who's looking to be an executive assistant. Also, an incredibly valuable to me and to others position, but very different in the type of resume and skills you're trying to convey. So, this resume's got some great things and some challenges. Up here at the top, we have bilingual problem solver, which I think is a great opening statement. If I could say something right in the start of my resume, I've impressed people. Yeah, somebody says I like the blue on top. Color is not bad either. Anything that makes your resume stand out or pop is great. And I appreciate the people saying, please be polite. And we'll get the mods out if we have to. But bilingual problem solver conveys so much right away. It spits out this person knows 2 languages and it says they do something. That's incredible first 3 words of a resume right after the name and information they've taken off. They also intend to give very relevant facts up front. Email, phone, location, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn's a place to find out more about me. But I like how EA here has used space well to make her message stand out. Bilingual problem solver with an expertise in recruiting coordination and events and supporting multiple senior executives in fast-paced environments. That's an incredible claim with a huge amount piled into those first couple lines. We already talked about being a problem solver. She immediately asserts her expertise. She says, I can coordinate recruiting, I can do events, I can support multiple, so I'm good at multitasking, senior executives in fast-paced environments. There's a lot packed into this, and it stands out and it's in bold, so it actually gets read. Now you compare this, we go backwards here. This profile summary, Kevin, who got the job, and God bless him, that doesn't stand out. It's the same as everything. It's trapped, it's blobbed in, it doesn't stand out. So let's go to back here. Look, summary of qualifications. Now I have a couple of things to say here. I like this set of words. She spent 4 years developing grit. And that is powerful in a couple of ways. First, it's unusual words, and those catch eyes and make people think. If you're saying all the usual things about highly motivated achiever, blah, 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 nobody's listening. Developing grit makes me wonder. It also says she has a great vocabulary. These things matter when you're looking for an executive assistant. Highly ambiguous and fast-paced environment. Now, highly ambiguous is another bold claim. It's another ideal with difficult situations. So this is impressive so far. When I had read this resume to this point, I was thinking, I think she would do well at Amazon. We're going to get into some things that are problems, but at this point, I'm impressed. And since my boss is hiring a new EA, I was thinking, okay, where's this going? And we'll talk about that. We come on down here. We get into some words I don't like where they're not action words. The ability. I would try never to start a sentence with the. Ability, straight up. Ability to stay calm under pressure or composure under pressure would be stronger here. Again, the ability to become a. These are not powerful words. Trusted business partner to executives is the way to open that. Just delete all that stuff up front. If you open this bullet and say trusted business partner to executives demonstrating big picture thinking and ironclad discretion, wow. I want you on my team. I want you keeping secrets for me. Okay. Executives have things they can't share, but they need their EAs to know. And you want someone who makes this claim and stays with it. All right, now we're going to talk about something weird. Years of experience. I'm not sure this is the most important thing. And after all this great, powerful use of space up front, let's look at this section and how much time and space are put into things that don't matter. First, is years of experience a thing? Second, what's the biggest font here? It's a bunch of numbers. And by the way, basically all those numbers are the same. 5, 4.5 rounds up to 5. 4 is almost 5 in Ethan math. 5, but one stands out, 10. What's that about? Yeah, someone in chat says it looks like ratings. 10, I'm trying now, I have what's called cognitive dissonance. It says, whose resume is this? She may be here. We're calling her EA. She may not want to be identified. I don't actually know her handle. I believe everyone here is watching and they don't need to identify themselves, particularly when I'm giving critical feedback, even though I love the opening. Look, what doesn't work for me here is how can you have 10 years of experience in Outlook, Word, PowerPoint, and Excel and only 5 years in everything else? I don't get it. And so now I'm confused and I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I'm suspicious. And none of that is good for EA at this point. After a killer opening, I'm wondering what's going on here. Second, the numbers are the biggest thing. But that's not what's important. What you did or can do is important. Event planning and team morale, parentheses, 4 years. Yeah, it's a 5-year mystery story. And we're going to dig deeper into that, chat, because it is a 5-year mystery story. Domestic and international travel planning. Those are skills. Call out the skills. The years that you've done it, this is another good question. I'm going to be difficult here. When we interview, we're looking for people. We talk about the difference between someone who has 10 years of experience and someone who has 1 year of experience repeated 10 times. Well, a question in a case like this, did you really learn more about recruiting and interview coordination in year 5 or year 4? Or did you learn it all in year 1? And then telling me you've done it for 5 years, what am I supposed to take away from that? Maybe nothing bad, but I don't believe that someone who's coordinated interviews for 5 years is 5 times as good as someone who's done it for 1 year. So you want to make the point you have this experience, but this is way too much space for it. Okay, moving on. Now we get into some ouchy stuff. This may just be EA's reality, but it's going to violate the rule in the question we just asked about, which is how much to talk about your jobs. And I'm going to show you what I mean. Here's the ouchy part. This is a 3-month job. More to the point, it looks like that 3-month job is already over. That might not be true because I don't know how EA wrote the resume, but it's June now. And so this should say March 2019 to present if she's still employed, or March 29th to June 2019, sorry, not 29th, 2019, if she's still there. So what I'm thinking at this point is, wow, she got a job and lost it in 3 months. Not positive. After that tour de force opening, it's looking grim. Second thing, look at all this. In 3 months, we got 7 short bullets. Now the bullets are short, nothing wrong with that. But now we're going to scroll down real quick. Here, she was somewhere for 2 years. We got the same 7 bullets. So in 2 years, judging by how much time it was given, she did the same amount of work in 2 years and versus 3 months. Clearly false. We're going to keep going though. She was at that company really 2014 to 2018. And, only 3 bullets here, again, a 2-year period. So my real point is there's an awful lot about this 1 3-month job. Now, maybe if those things were super impressive, that would be fantastic. But if they weren't super impressive, uh, and I haven't dug through them. I didn't decide whether each of those are impressive. But the space use is wrong, which was the question from earlier. So we'll keep moving because we had a lot more resumes to get through, and we're killing it so far. And these are fun. All right. You've all heard this already. I'll keep repeating it. Which of these, you can just ask yourself, which of these are strong openings? Process foundation expenses? Man, that sounds very low level. Opened, sorted, and distributed incoming mail. Now, we just talked about space. Oh my God. If you wanted to say, can I have fries with that? That's like saying that I was very low on the totem pole because I'm the mail sorter. Don't do that, right? You compare this bullet to the top bullet. Balanced 3 leaders' schedules, ensuring time was also allocated. Balancing 3 leaders' schedules, valuable. Opening, sorting, and distributing mail? Yeah, can I get a latte? I'd like it with 2 sugars. Like, you're just putting yourself in a unpowerful position. I don't know. Unpowerful is not a word. You tell me what it is. What I do like here is some of these selected contributions. Again, the use of space. We're going to go down. She was a virtual administrative assistant for a while. Now, again, I hate to see this on here, but it may be her reality. It's just not a strong role. Provided freelance professional administration. She makes the best of it and moves on. I would try and have some accomplishment or something you learned, though. I would try to have something here that you got out of it. For example, if you were doing this for a budget, learn to work remotely. Learned to multiple, I was supporting 7 different people on contracts. I would pull something out that I can see as a positive, as opposed to what I see, which is, oh shit, you were unemployed and this was the best you could do. Now look, I'm not being uncharitable. I am all for, if you need a job and you have to be entrepreneurial, you going out and getting a job and making work for yourself. I know we have Devin Nash here, who I'm going to be on his stream soon. Devin, I think, would say the same thing. He can chime in and chat if he wants. I'll be on his stream for a while Monday at 2 o'clock Pacific. But Devin would say, get a job and go do work. And this is where you do it. And so she did a good thing, not just sitting around idle. And we're going to get to that. Let me go down to the very bottom of a gem that's buried. By the way, this bad formatting is from me putting this in Google Docs. She had it exactly 2 pages. It prints as 2 pages. She actually has been working to improve herself. This is awesome. It's too bad it's buried at the bottom. I'd find some way to pull this up, and I might put it under virtual assistant and say took classes while working as a virtual assistant, because suddenly it sounds like that's my reason that I'm working as a virtual assistant. And yeah, I see all the Nash Nation fans there. That's awesome. Thank you all for coming. I hope you're getting good value for your no money. So she was improving herself. She's working hard. And I love it. How do you get that up where I'll see it? Because I don't get to this point in the resume unless I've kept reading. And like I said earlier, every line in the resume has to earn me reading further. Another thing I like about this, it's a little funny, bilingual in Khmer, native language of Cambodia. She does the right thing here, which is explains that it's a native language of Cambodia, because I think most people, including me, might think that if you're from Cambodia, you speak Cambodian. And so she's at least explaining it and getting it right. Somebody says, how do I submit my terrible resume? We'll do one of these again sometime. It's obviously got a good audience. Devin Nash and I are talking about doing a combined resume teardown on his show sometime in the future. So we'll get back to you. But you'll see it. The answer to your question is follow our blog, www.theeasycoach.com, and we announce things like that there, and that's where you get it. Okay. Here's the thing I like, because I've been given a lot of negative feedback. I really like this use of space with key accomplishments and icons. Uh, I like the fact that she's calling out, I learned strategic planning, and it's in bold, a way I can't miss it. I learned event planning. I built this city EA community. This is back to the person who impressed the shit out of me in the opening. This is the powerful person who does things. This resume is Jekyll and Hydelda or something. Jekyll and Hyde. It's I don't know how to make that female. That was a fail. But look, this resume goes back and forth. It's Jekyll and Hyde so bad, from awesome to real opportunities for improvement. This section is awesome. It calls out what she did. It's very visual. The resume is good for visual appeal. It's good down here with key accomplishments and the recruiting wiki. I think the formatting where templates and scheduling is over there is because of my cut and paste. Look at this again, juggling 6 to 8 calendars at once. This is someone who's very accomplished. Fix this resume up and you're going to get jobs quick. You got to take care of the problems. You've got so much in it that's good and so much in it that's sinking you. So I think you can get a job really quickly with the changes we've talked about. And so far, I'm really happy. I don't see anybody here who's going to have a hard time getting a job. Oh, harshness is why we watch you, Devin Nash. And I'm Devin with less yelling. I'll have to keep that in mind for when I go on his show on Monday. With less yelling. I've only ever heard him yell about Tesla. All right, let's move on. Let's swap over, see if we have any questions that are upvoted. All right, we're going to take this one. So mods, go ahead and pin this to the top. It's very long. About the professional website, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube links. If not the resume, how else could they be leveraged to showcase valuable skills or projects? If you want to get into product management, you want to show projects. In that case, I put them in the resume body. Even if I have to have a special section that says special projects and a big bold headliner that says, I do lots of creation outside of my day job. Make a section and call them out and link to the projects. Don't just give me icons to LinkedIn. And what, by the way, if you joined the stream late, let me pull it up here. What he's talking about is Kevin got a job, and that's awesome. And I'm super proud of Kevin for coming on the show and letting me critique him live and give him feedback. But he put all these icons at the top of his resume. These don't tell me, look, it might be he's got a bunch of project information behind some of this, but most of these are social. I don't expect to find a lot of value behind Instagram. I might find a lot of good art. I might find out all kinds of things I'm not supposed to know as an interviewer, like is he married or whatever. I'm not supposed to know any of that or care about any of it. These are basically dangerous to me as an interviewer. So going back to the question though, and we'll switch back to the resume we were on. Going back to the question where people want to highlight these skills, build a section and do it there. Talk about the projects you've had. All right, next resume, and then we'll get to later questions. This one's huge, but well, let's do the next question so we can clear this monster question off the top of my head, because it's literally on the top of my head in the video. So we'll do next one and hope it's shorter. All right, a short question. Should you use acronyms and abbreviations for industry standard terms, KPI, SCM, ROI? No. At least not at first, or not unless you're very sure that your reader's going to know them. Hold this question. We'll leave it up, but we're going to get to it later in a resume that does this poorly. And so actually it's the very next resume. So let me just jump to that point on the resume and you'll see what I mean.